1 second, Mataji, I'll start recording. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to our Guru Maharaj. Today, today we have Her Grace Anuradha Mataji to enlighten us on to give class today because Guru Maharaj is not available and we are in the weekends nowadays. So we have different speakers giving classes to all of us. That's very great to listen to different speakers. So today's speaker is Her Grace Anuradha Mataji, and she is going to enlighten us on the topic how to develop faith in the holy name and instructions of the spiritual master. So it's a very important topic. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna, dear Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to our Guru Maharaj. You can please take over, Mataji. And thank you so much for accepting my request and giving the class and giving your valuable time and association to all of us today. You can please take over, Mataji. Thank you so much. And do you want me to share any words, Mataji, on the screen? Please let me know.
Please accept my humble obeisances. So glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj and to all the God family. It's I would say favorite verse on that topic is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Madhya Lila, it's very known verse, Harinama verse. It's 6 Madhya Lila 242. The 6th chapter, I think this is 6th chapter, yeah.
Yes, Mataji, yeah. I got it, I'm sharing. Yes, you can please start. Thank you so much.
I will, for the beginning, we have enough time if I say prayers or I escape it.
Mataji, please start with prayers.
Prayers.
More devotees will join. Yeah, thank you.
It goes. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Radha Madhava Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayarama Madhava Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Prabhupada Japra Prabhupada Ila Prabhupada Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva. I would just say a prayer for auspiciousness. Is Omegyanti Miranda Sinanjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Yena Tasmai Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayan Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanat Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. So this is I find very important verse. Just I need to. Very important verse. I will read the verse first. It's from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 6th chapter, 242nd verse. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam, Kalau nasti eva, nasti eva, nasti eva gatiranyata. And the translation of that verse is, in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. I find very important that verse because in translation is 3 times repeated. There is no other way, and that reminds me that there is no other way. I mean that this is the only way that can deliver us from all the inauspiciousness and material world itself. So I found it very important because it repeats 3 times in the verse. And then I will read a purport of that verse. Because the people of this age are so fallen, they can simply chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In this way, they can rid themselves of the bodily conception of life and become eligible to engage in the Lord's devotional service. One cannot engage in the devotional service of the Lord without being purified of all contamination. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 28th verse. Yesham tuanta gatam papam jananam punya karmanam tidvandva maham nirmukta bhajante mam dridavrataha. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are free from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. Sometimes people are surprised to see young men and women take so seriously to the Krishna consciousness movement. The giving up sinful activity, illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, and strictly following the injunctions given by a spiritual master, they have become purified of all contamination. They can therefore fully engage in the devotional service of the Lord. In the age of Kali, Hari Kirtana is very, very important. The importance of chanting the holy name of the Lord is stated in the following verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. 12th canto, 3rd chapter, 51st until 52nd verse. Kaler dosha nide rajan asti hieko mahan gunaha kirtanat eva krishnasya mukta sanga param vrajet kritiyat dhyayato vishnum tritayam yajato makai dvapare paricharyayam kalautat dari tir kirtanat. The most important factor in this age of Kali, which is an ocean of faults, is that one can be free from all contamination and become eligible to enter the kingdom of God simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. The self-realization that was achieved in the Satya millennium by meditation, in the Treta millennium by the performance of different sacrifices, and in the Dvapara millennium by worship of Lord Krishna, can be achieved in the age of Kali simply by chanting the holy names Hare Krishna. Yes, I find out very important that I also in the title of that lecture is also the instructions of the spiritual master. So I connected chanting of the holy name with instructions of the spiritual master, because we actually are initiated in the chanting of the holy name. We are to say, we get a taste by following instruction of the spiritual master, and I will say here that it's not important so much physical appearance of spiritual master. Like now we have Srila Prabhupada. He's with us in his instructions. This is Vani. I think it's Vani. And then it's Vapu when its spiritual master is with you. So like this, we glorify, we actually seriously and sincerely follow the instructions of the spiritual master. And we actually, we are associating with him like this. Like Srila Prabhupada, he followed the instructions of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Swami, and he associating with him all the time like this. And because of this, he was so successful, because he take it so seriously, and because he respects so much his spiritual master. And we get empowered by following the instructions. And when we hear his chanting, everyone in all the temples, we hear the chanting of Prabhupada. It's our leading chanting. And he was chanting with devotion. And he was always meditating how to satisfy Krishna and the spiritual master. So he takes shelter every step he take. And Prabhupada used to say that padam padam yat vipadam, that at every step is a danger. So, but he said, I have no fear when I chant the holy name. And I think that also Guru Maharaj said that whenever he's feel in danger, like that chauffeur in India, when he goes so slow, and the chauffeurs go so quick, so he feel really anxiety. But when he start to chant loudly, there was no anxiety anymore. And I remember this so much because I'm trying to applicate in my life also, when I feel like, oh, I have no feeling no secure, or like we have anyway we don't have control of everything. It's Krishna have control, but sometimes we want to control things, and when it's out of our control, like my life, I can say everything, it goes out of my hands, and then I feel like, oh, I don't feel secure anymore. But the holy name is Krishna himself. I didn't realize yet that, but it's so powerful, and there is no other way than the holy name. Yeah, unfortunately, I need to say in my own life like that, I didn't realize yet, and I don't take so seriously because I didn't realize yet. I should practice that, and that becomes more, I would say, perfected. Who actually is a person, who the holy name is, because it's Krishna himself. And Krishna take care of us so nicely every time, but I'm not grateful enough because yeah, there is like false identification and in mind, and etc. So the holy name, even if someone is chanting the holy name in a funny way or making fun of the holy name or devotees, it's already it's taken very seriously by Krishna. Krishna really likes that someone is chanting his name. Like someone is first time seeing Harinam on the street and saying, haha, look at this Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna, and they make fun of this, but Krishna takes seriously. And that person can be, say, impressed by Paramatma gives him intelligence, I would say, in some way. Very hard to hear. Some technical problems. I see one Prabhu said it's very hard to hear me. So, yeah.
Yes, Mataji, if you can be a little louder, that will be easy for others, I think. But that's, I think I feel it's okay. But yeah, if you can, sound is interrupted.
Okay. So it's you should be really like prepared that Krishna will give us all the facilities to come closer to him, because we call his name and then we have a chance to go closer to him by the mercy of the devotees, especially pure devotees. Like just in the beginning, like Prabhupada just sit on the in America under the trees in the park, and he started to chant sincerely for the purpose to fulfill the desires of his spiritual master, and it was very successful. So that faith, it's how to develop that faith. I think that's association, and association. It's 3 times repeated. That it's so important that we stick on the association of devotees and together chants. I have myself experience when we were. It's still sound. It's not good, or it's so better now. I don't know from my side.
Yes, Mataji, it's better.
It's better now. Okay.
Thank you.
I have experience, very nice experience actually. In Radhadesh, sometimes, actually every year of Nirjala Ekadashi, we come together, all the community, and we chant together in the temple room. And there is also Haridas Thakur deity. And it's so amazing. I can say, like, you can chant like whole day, and we don't eat, and because we are together. So because of this, I consider like that association of devotees is so very important to have it around yourself, especially when you chant for a long time. And because mind tells you so many things, and in the association of devotees, you are more kind of also the feeling of responsibility that you when you share experiences with devotees, you try to be like more, say, serious in front of them, and then you need to practice to be, when you are alone, to be like that you imagine that you have association of devotees with you, and that they support you wherever you are. Yes, and I have experienced that when we were chanting together in the temple room, that I was fluently chanting, have fluently chant the holy name when I was with them, because this is the mercy. I didn't have any experience before or after. It's really amazing. Just you need to be really sincere and serious while you are chanting. So it's very important that mercy of the spiritual master and faith in instructions of the spiritual master. And it's the base of everything. And also the importance of other devotees' mercy while you are chanting the holy name. And especially when you are in the Harinam and Kirtan and Bhajans, when you together chant and singing the holy name of the Lord. So yeah, we should. This is a special mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and more mercy for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Nityananda. And you should always like meditate. There is also like opportunities, like help before you chant, like that you have some special mantras before you chant. That you pray to Panchatattva. We have prayers before we start to chant, and then Haridas Thakur and Lord Chaitanya. So we can pray especially pray to Radha Krishna, that we are empowered, like that we can chant with we are focused while we are chanting, attentive chanting. Yes, that we are attentive. There is also, I really like it. It helps me, although I still have problems with my mind and the world around you, which can make you disturbed. So I have this book, Japa Affirmations from Mahatma Prabhu. It helps me so much. There are 20 meditations to deepen your chanting, and it helps me while I'm somewhere, like in traveling, or when it's so many things which mind can disturb. Mind can be disturbed by the certain situations or sounds and like this, and it's good to have some support, how to say, before you chant. Yeah, it's so amazing how devotees also in the scriptures can help you in the books, and with some suggestions. Realizations are important, that devotees have a lot of realizations, and develop faith in the chanting of the holy name. If you this is the topic, and if important things here is that you try not to make offenses to the holy name, to devotees, first of all to devotees, to the holy name, spiritual master. And like always remember, like I reminding myself that life after life I repeatedly take birth and I die, and this lifetime, no matter what happens, like they will be, Krishna can make some situation that you start to think, maybe this is not for me or something, you know, because he want to test you how sincere you are in your practice. But if you make really the goal in your life that this is the life you get Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada is here, Prabhupada gives us everything, himself in the form of books, in the form of instructions in his lectures. So we have wonderful association of Srila Prabhupada, of Srila Gurudeva and devotees. So we should be very like careful not to make offenses, and reminding yourself how important is that you stick off on the having on anyhow having association of devotees. So also online, like that we have Zoom meetings, like when it was COVID and there was no so much opportunity to be together, but you should always think how to improve your chanting in your sadhana. And also very important factor is association of devotees. Yeah, we all come, or we were born in Krishna consciousness, or we get some service from, and because of devotees, we start to chant, we start to serve. So we should always reminding ourselves who are the ones who are helping us in the beginning, and who we were before, like those who were not born in Krishna consciousness, that I mean those devotees. So I was reminding myself to be more humble, more respectful and grateful for what I get. If my mind's, my mind is really rascal, start to say to you, oh, this is not good, that's maybe a little bit better, or, but I'm just saying, oh, come on, this lifetime. There is no other opportunity, there is no other way. Like it's a Harinama verse, there is no other way out. And we have special opportunity to say, wake up from our dreaming state of illusion, and to stick up to the Guru's lotus feet and his instructions and association of devotees. So powerful is, and also protection of the Lord Nrsimhadev and protection of Krishna. It's so amazing how Krishna always protects us, and we need to, or just to say, to follow instruction of the spiritual master. And I actually give this title of a chanting of the holy name and following instruction of the spiritual master, because it's so much connected. This is the main instruction of all the spiritual masters, that we should chant the holy name, not just 16 rounds. I like one expression I found in one book, that you chant 16 rounds and then ding, this oven, when you put in the oven and you bake something like bread or I don't know, whatever, and at the end it's like bing, it's over, and you need to put out whatever you bake there. And then I feel sometimes like that when I chant, like, okay, now it's 16 rounds, ding, it's over. But then I remind myself, I think this was in the Kadambakara Maharaja's book. It was so, I just love it. But like this is like this sometimes. Oh, I end my 16 rounds, you put your japa down, and some situations. But I always remind myself that how important it is to chant all the time, not even on japa, not on the japa in my mind, although this is not so easy, of course. Yeah, so in practical life, you should always remind yourself to whom we belong to, and how we get that mercy, and who is the one who gives that mercy, and that questions, so that we really grasp on this, and that the holy name can be, I would say, leading team in our life. So yeah, it's easy to say, but in practice, we should really practice every day. How important it is to take shelter of the holy name. I get many like informations how the devotees survive wars and like this when they were sincerely chanting the holy name in Yugoslavia. We have a big war for many years. It was like Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro. I forget. Yeah. So I have some problems with internet connection. Unfortunately, I have to leave this chat today. Hare Krishna. Oh, so yeah, it's very important that we take shelter of the holy name and instruction of the spiritual master, because the fearlessness is, like Maharaj said, that he's more fearless when he chant loudly. And sometimes I'm so afraid. I know it sounds funny, but when I go with the airplane up, I'm so afraid. I don't know, maybe this is from previous life something. I'm not down, but just when we go up with the airplane. But when I start to chant so loudly, everyone is looking at me, but I don't mind, because I'm so afraid. And then I remind myself why I don't chant so sincerely, like in that time when I'm on the floor. Because Prabhupada said, padam padam yad vipadam. You never know what can happen to you. So I'm sincerely also asking myself on the plane when we are going up, and I'm like, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, because I'm really so afraid, like sincerely afraid. But I need to also sincerely chant the holy name that my fear will disappear. And devotees also have some realizations on the airplanes that they're like completely with their really faith in the holy name, like completely, you know, even if something happens, something like really, I say, looks like disaster, they're still peaceful. That's, I'm so impressed, and I wish to be like that. So because of this, I'm chanting so loudly, and I understand then that with the loud chanting, but then I feel like, oh, everything is okay. Somehow or other, if you chant loudly, it's, I have also experienced, I feel more secure. I don't know why, how. It's for sure because Krishna is with you so much, because it's like really, I chant really loudly. Yeah, so it should be really really important to chant the holy name with sincere heart. And also I believe that if you chant many times the holy name, and practice sadhana nicely, that like we hear in the previous lecture of Bhuta Bhavana Prabhu, that's misidentification of bodily conception, it deteriorates because Krishna gives living entity intelligence, and then you gradually have less that misidentification with the body and mind. That's karma, and like he told us. So yeah, the holy name, it's really so powerful, and also it's so important because that we chant attentively. Like if for example, it's something that we have a lot of to do and we are sleepy when we are chanting, or we should sleep and then chant with that I need also to learn, or with conscious mind, with fresh mind, because holy name is Krishna himself, and we should be more, let's say, awake when while we are chanting, if it's possible, of course. There depends also on situations. In any case, like Prabhupada and Maharaj also said this, that no matter what, if you are sad, if you are happy, if you, I don't know, you don't like something, or whatever situation you are, you just chant. Because this is the no other way back, no other way. There is only way for us. Yeah. So here I have some, maybe I will stop here, and if maybe, I don't know how is with the time now, or maybe Srimati Mataji can
Mataji,
say.
you can continue, Mataji. It's
Uh-huh.
30 minutes you were speaking, but that's okay. If you have more to share, you can continue, Mataji.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
There I have still a second. Huh. I will just see. I have some verses still, but I need to go. I will come back soon. Second.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Please tell me which verses you want to share.
Oh, so yeah, thank you. I have verses written here. Yeah, it will be very helpful. There is also the Bhagavad Gita verse 9:14. 9th chapter, 14th verse. The sound is okay, Mataji? I mean, am I loud enough?
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Okay.
So are you able to see the verse, Mataji?
Just a second. I'm sorry. Yes, I see it.
Yeah.
I will also chant that verse. I will read, the Sanskrit. Satatan kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavratah namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Then translation is, always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. And then purport, the Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. His symptoms are described here. A Mahatma is always engaged in chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna, personality of Godhead. He has no other business. He is always engaged in the glorification of the Lord. In other words, he is not an impersonalist. When the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising His holy name, His eternal form, His transcendental qualities, and His uncommon pastimes. One has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is attached to the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmajyoti, is not described as Mahatma in the Bhagavad Gita. He is described in a different way in the next verse. The Mahatma is always engaged in different activities of devotional service, as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing and chanting about Vishnu, not a demigod or human being. That is devotion, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu and Smarana, remembering him. Such a Mahatma has firm determination to achieve the ultimate and the association of the Supreme Lord in any one of the 5 transcendental rasas. To achieve that success, he engages all activities mentally, bodily, and vocally, everything in the service of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. That is called full Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Oh, there's more. Yeah. And also fasting is very important. Yeah, that here is written that that we can fast on Ekadashi and on the appearance day of the Lord. That all these rules and regulations are offered by the great acharyas for those who are actually interested in getting admission into the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in a transcendental world. The Mahatmas, great souls, strictly observe all these rules and regulations, and therefore they are sure to achieve the desired results. So yeah, this is Mahatma, great soul. So Krishna is very satisfied when we trying our best. So we should be engaged in different activities which support our chanting. So this is devotional service, singing the holy name, cooking for Krishna, swapping for Krishna with a broom. It can be some artistic, it can be drama, it can be, can be many things which we can do for Krishna. And it's very important that, that always we try to satisfy Krishna. We can do some service and we think, oh, that's the best for Krishna, but it might not be. So we should be very important is to communicate with Mahatmas, with the devotees who can be senior devotees, spiritual master. And so this is again the instructions that we take seriously. So it's again very important thing for us. There is also one verse here I found very important. I'm sorry, Mataji, I remember that it's one verse in Bhagavad Gita, the 10th chapter, and the verse 9. Here it's verse Machita Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayanta Shchamam Nityam Tushyanti Charamanticha. And then it's written, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are fully devoted to my service, and then derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. And here is written, pure devotees whose characteristics are mentioned here engage themselves fully in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Their minds cannot be diverted from the lotus feet of Krishna. Their talks are solely on the transcendental subjects. Then the symptoms of the pure devotees are described in this verse specifically. Devotees of the Supreme Lord are 24 hours daily engaged in glorifying the qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna, and they take pleasure in discussing him with other devotees. In the preliminary stage of devotional service, they relish the transcendental pleasure from the service itself, and in the mature stage, they are actually situated in love of God. Yeah, Lord Chaitanya likens transcendental devotional service to the sowing of the seed in the heart of the living entity. There are innumerable living entities traveling throughout the different planets of the universe, and out of them, there are a few who are fortunate enough to meet a pure devotee and get the chance to understand devotional service. This devotional service is just like a seed, and if it is sown in the heart of a living entity, and if he goes on hearing and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that seed fructifies just as the seed of a tree fructifies with regular watering. The spiritual plant of devotional service gradually grows and grows until it penetrates the covering of the material universe and enters into the Brahma Jyoti effulgence in the spiritual sky. In the spiritual sky also, that plant grows more and more until it reaches the highest planet, which is called Goloka Vrindavana, the supreme planet of Krishna. Ultimately, the plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and rests there. So its long purport, I will just say that how important it is to have association of a pure devotee and chant the holy name at the same time. Go hands in hands, and also to chant the holy name and have a service. I know one situation of one devotee, I will not say the name or even don't know that's devotee personally, but it happens that chant a lot or you have just devotional service and you don't combine both, and it's I'll say it's not good. Go back hand by hand that you chant the holy name, which gives you opportunity to serve. You actually chant, and you say Hare Krishna and Hare Hare means, oh my Krishna, oh my Srimati Radharani, please engage me in the devotional service. So it's going, actually praying for the service, opportunity and whatever facilities in material world Krishna gives us to engage in devotional service of the Lord. This is very important to know that. Then now I don't know the time. If it's still okay, so maybe if it's time for the.
Yeah, we have 15 minutes for some discussion, Mataji. Is it okay to stop, or you want to share anything else? That's okay.
We can maybe start with the questions and comments now.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji, for enlightening on this topic. And thank you so much for reminding again what Guru Maharaj says. You reminded us once again, and you shared your experiences. And as you said, devotees association is the very important aspect of our devotional service, and also chanting the holy name with attention, and always having faith in Guru Maharaj's instructions, and so how to develop this. Thank you so much, Mataji. You gave such a really nice points. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or comments or realizations you want to share, please go ahead. And it will be very nice if you can turn on your cameras to see all of you. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for sharing this. It was really nice class on the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I'm so glad that I joined in today. You know, normally weekend is very difficult, but I'm glad I made it. So thank you for the class. It's really, really eye-opening. I just wanted to share some realization, basically, not a question. I was struggling with the chanting as well, and I was just praying that how can I more focus on my chanting and how can I improve it? And suddenly my mentor said that, why don't you start the japa session in the morning? It was a lockdown time, you know, lockdown time was really stressful for us, not because I work for NHS. It was really a bad time for us and wanted to chant more. So she suggested the japa session online. And that japa session online is such a help for me that I start the call in the morning at 5 o'clock, and devotees join, and it is like a, you know, you feel like you're in the temple. Everybody is chanting together. You can only hear that time of the day, you only hear the name of the Lord, which helps you to focus a lot on the chanting. So I'm so glad that I did that. But yeah, chanting makes it so easier to get out of the stressful situations which I was in that time. And I'm so grateful for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, and Gurudev that, you know, they are inspiring us to do the chanting. So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for sharing realizations. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Sukavaha Mataji. Thank you for sharing that. Devotees, any more realizations or any questions? Yeah, I just want to comment on the part where Devotees Association is Mataji. So we definitely really need a Devotees Association somehow or other. Like as Mataji said, like why don't we start a japa session? So if nobody is doing something, then we can start voluntarily on our own, and we can do. We can bring on other devotees onto that call or onto that activity, and have a Devotees Association like that. So we can create something on our own, like reading calls or sessions like that, so that at least daily we'll have some part of our life with some Devotees Association. Yeah, that's what even I was thinking. Yeah, also, even Guru Maharaj encourages us to come together and read the scriptures and all, also do kirtan and all. So that's a very good idea. And also, yeah, definitely somehow or other we have to seek Devotees Association. Otherwise, our devotional service will be very dry. So alone we can't practice. That's for true. Sure, we can say. So Devotees Association is the must. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for the beautiful class. Thank you. I mean, I like the point which you said, and it also really helped me a lot of times. Even Guru Maharaj said, like when you are getting disturbed, if you chant loudly, you can see, you can bring your attention back. And yeah, thank you for sharing that. And even sometimes, like even I practice that, especially in the mornings. Yeah, but I also see like morning chanting is very nice for me. And later in the day, my chanting is not, I do finish off my rounds, but it's not very attentive. Yeah, but morning chanting is like very nice for me. I can see, like I can focus and I can finish off at least like 8 to 10 rounds in the morning. Yeah. But thank you so much for the beautiful class. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sudha Mataji. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, this what Mataji said. There's also a very important point. I really like it when she said that morning japa. It's if it's possible, it's very important and it's much more easy than later because it's Brahma Muhurta time also, and it's like fresh mind and like this. It's very important point. Yeah.
It's like, a fuel for your day. We are putting a petrol in the car just to carry on the whole day through. If suppose I was some of the other reason I can't do that, it is so hard, during the day, and it's like it's not a good day, basically.
Yeah.
When I so used to chanting in the morning. So yeah, it's so important.
At what time is your japa session, Mataji?
You came 5 o'clock in the morning, I start.
Oh, wow.
Every day without fail. Sometimes in the beginning I was feeling that, oh my god, do I have to get up, in the winter time it does feel like, do I have to get up, the alarm goes, and then it's 5 more minutes, 5 more, and then one of the devotee gave me such a good example, basically, which motivates me now to get up exactly at the time and then continue my session. Is they said that imagine if you are supposed to meet some celebrity or a queen or somebody, and you have to be there at certain time. What will you do? Will you say, oh no, 5 minutes, I'll sleep and then I'll get up and I'll get ready and go? No, you won't. You will not be able to sleep the whole night that you're going to meet that person next day. So Krishna is the highest of every like whole of the world. And when you chant, Krishna is there with you. And when you regularly chant at certain time, Krishna waits for you to start your chanting, basically. And that struck me. Oh my God, Krishna is waiting for me. I must get up and chant, So that was such a good point, actually, the devotee mentioned. I was one of the very senior devotee, and when they said that, I said, oh my God, it's an appointment with Krishna, get up. And start chanting.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
Mataji, that's true. Yeah. Thank you so much
So
for
every
sharing.
day, if we chant at the same time, Krishna will be waiting for us. Remember that.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you. Nice, Mataji.
Yeah. Thank you for that nice realization, Mataji.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Mataji, I think there are no more comments or realizations or any questions. So I think we can end the call here, even though it's 5 minutes before. So any last minute comments or questions? Yes, Mataji, Vraj will ask me, Mataji.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. No, thank you so much. This is really nice realizations, and Mataji's class is very nice with the associations. Association, and my chanting is also because I have to chanting early in the morning too, and if I chant later at day, I cannot focus on my chanting and everything. And I try. My question is like, I'm chanting with the like japa session or like others with the other devotees, but then that time I cannot focus on my chanting. I'm just trying to listen everyone's out chanting, how she's doing it, how she's doing it. So what is like, how to do we like focus on our own chanting instead of focusing others chanting?
if I understand properly your question, Mataji, it's like if we chant together with devotees, we can be disturbed sometimes with another chanting, and don't hear ourselves nicely.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
What I do, I know if it's proper, I need to maybe ask senior devotees, but if I chant with the group and they are quite loud or maybe even like disturbing my own chanting, I start to chant more loudly. I start to chant very loudly, and I try to hear my voice. I even do like this, like I put my finger in my ear that I hear more attentively. But yeah, I don't change the place where I am usually, but I'll say, I change the maybe tonality of how I chant, that I'm more focused on my chanting. But yeah, because it's important. I always remind myself that the devotees are important, that they are with us. But it can happen. Yeah, I understand you. I also sometimes I'm like, I don't like how or how they chant or the melody or something. There always is something which can, I would say, we more hear them than ourselves. Them.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So I'm trying to respect that devotee. Like, okay, it's his or her style of chanting. It's their own decision to chant like this, and I start to really trying to hear myself with. I start to chanting more loudly, and I'm hoping that I don't disturb others around. But
Right.
what I do in disturbing situations, like I say in an airplane, I don't mind. I mean, I'm so afraid that I start to chant very loudly, and it's just because I'm so afraid. And in that case, when I'm with devotees, I also start to chant quite loudly. Because of the reason is that I can hear myself better. The holy name, I mean, that I do know. I don't know that we should maybe speak with some senior devotees, spiritual master. Is that proper? But what I do like this. I respect others, but I change the melody and I start to chant more loudly.
Yeah, I pushed an earplug on my ear and I just try to hear my chanting.
Actually, I want to share something in this regard, Mataji. Sridevi Mataji, you remember, did you join any of her japa sessions, Mataji?
Yeah, I think a couple of times.
You remember we used to put Prabhupada chanting video.
Yes.
So instead of hearing to other devotees, we can put Prabhupada chanting and everybody will be on mute, or suppose if it is online, and we just hear Prabhupada, or we can reduce the volume also a little bit, and if we can chant, even if we chant loudly or softly, then we'll hear only Prabhupada chanting as a background. We don't hear others chanting online like that. Sridevi Mataji encourages like that. And suppose if we are chanting in a room, in a temple hall or like that, then we can maintain a little bit distance between the devotees so that their chanting may not distract us. That also we can do. That's what I think. Even in temple also here, if we go in the Mangalarti time or morning time, so we usually sit like that, little bit far away, between distance between each devotee, little bit more. Then that will also help us to focus on our chanting. Yeah. And online means we can reduce the volume all the time. And
yeah, sometimes I have to just like lower the volume so I cannot hear them.
yeah. Softly it will be nice, Mataji, but some devotees chant too loud, right? Like at that time only their voice will be heard, other voices will not be heard. So at that time we can just reduce the volume little bit and we can focus, Mataji. That's what.
Okay. Thank you so much, Devi. Thank you so much.
Yeah, with that, what Sridevi Mataji said, that reduce the volume. That's the best way also. But when you say that other devotees' voice is disturbing you, but at the same time, if you think that they are also chanting, that you are only listening to the Harinam rather than listening to anything else, which helps not to distract you as well. So you can chant loudly so that you can hear your own self. But, sometimes we are not that particular, or that maybe I'm talking about myself, that, why it is helping me, because so many times when the mind just goes wandering about, and the other devotee's voice, when you hear their chanting, then you say, oh, no, we should chant back, come back. So it's easy to bring our mind back when the other devotees are chanting. When we are chanting on our own, like it wanders around for a longer time. That's what this is my experience. So that's why I continue with the devotees chanting, basically, because that helps me less distraction rather than listening to their voices and just not listening to our voices. So reduce the volume, and then you can just chant loudly for yourself if that helps you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji, for a nice discussion. Thank you. Okay, so it's 1 hour mark. I think we can end the call here. Thank you so much once again, Anuradha Mataji, for coming and giving us class today and discussing on this important topic. Thank you so much. We look forward for more sessions from you. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you all devotees
Thank you,
for
Mataji.
joining and doing such a nice discussion. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Anantakoti
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Jai Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Devotees.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.